Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep today, and
Into the world of...
into AI and machine learning.
All right,
Now,
big topic.
it is a big one, and I think this is something that all of our listeners are going to get a lot out of
I'm
because
sure.
obviously this is an audience of people who work with data
Absolutely.
every day.
Yeah, so I think they'll be able to
And
relate.
they will, and this stuff is everywhere these days. I mean, it's like you can't
It really is.
escape it.
Everywhere you turn.
Everywhere you turn,
Yeah.
AI is doing something in the background or...
Right, and a lot of times we don't even know it, right? It's just happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's right.
Like it's magic almost.
Yeah, like, I mean, the one example that always comes to my mind is, those Netflix recommendations.
Oh, yeah, those are great. It's like...
Sometimes it's scary how well they know.
Yeah, it is. It's like
what you want to watch.
how do they know that?
Right.
But it's AI. That's
It is.
powering it. AI and machine learning working together.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe we should start there.
Yeah.
Like what actually AI.
Okay, so AI stands for artificial intelligence.
Right.
And basically what it is it's like scientists and engineers trying to get computers to think like humans,
Okay.
right? Trying to make them intelligent like us.
So like problem solving, decision making, all that stuff.
Exactly, yeah. Being able to
Okay.
learn and adapt and solve problems and, even be creative.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a pretty ambitious goal.
It is a really ambitious goal. So where does machine learning fit into all of that then?
Okay, so machine learning, you can think of it as like a particular approach to AI.
Okay.
Right? It's like a subset of AI.
Uh-huh.
And the way it works is that instead of like programming a computer with every single rule and instruction,
Right.
you give it like tons and tons of data.
Mm-hmm.
And then the algorithms, they figure out the patterns and relationships in that data
Okay.
on their own.
So it's basically like learning from experience.
It is, yeah. It's learning by example, just like humans do.
So is that kind of like what was going on with that chess playing computer, Deep Blue,
Yeah, exactly.
back in the day?
Deep Blue was a great example of early machine learning.
Okay.
So they didn't program it with like every single possible chess move.
Right.
Instead, what they did was they had it analyze millions of past games,
Wow.
and it learned from those games.
Okay.
So it learned the strategies.
So it was learning from data.
It was learning from data, exactly.
Right.
And it was using a technique called reinforcement learning,
Okay.
where it was basically like rewarded for good moves,
Uh-huh.
penalized for bad moves. And so it just kept getting better and better.
Wow. So is that like the same kind of principle that's at work with, like those Netflix recommendations we were talking about?
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
So Netflix collects a ton of data on you, right? Like
Sure.
what you watch,
Yep.
when you watch it, how long you watch, and what you rate things, even what you click on and don't watch.
Right.
Right. So all of that goes into these machine learning algorithms.
Uh-huh.
And the algorithms, they figure out these patterns
Okay.
that link your preferences to like millions of other users.
I see.
And that's how they can be like, oh, you're going to love this documentary.
Right.
Even though you've never heard of it before.
Yeah. So the data is really important.
Absolutely. The data is the fuel.
But, you hear about like deep learning now.
Right.
Is that like machine learning 2.0 or?
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
Okay.
So deep learning is basically the latest and greatest in machine learning.
Okay.
And it's inspired by the human brain.
Okay.
So it uses these things called artificial neural networks,
Okay.
which are like these layers and layers of interconnected nodes that process information, kind of like the neurons in our brains.
I see. So it's kind of like, I guess, a really, really powerful network
Exactly.
that can like just crunch tons of data.
Yeah, it can handle really complex data,
Yeah.
much more complex than traditional machine learning algorithms.
And so that's what's leading to all these like advancements in things like computer vision
Right.
and natural language processing.
Exactly, yeah. So, for example, facial recognition,
All right.
in the past it was kind of clunky, not very accurate.
Yeah.
But now with deep learning, they can analyze millions of images
Wow.
and identify individuals super accurately.
yeah.
And the more data they have,
Uh-huh.
the better they get.
It's like they're learning.
They are learning. That's exactly what's happening.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we've gone from like basic AI concepts to these machine learning algorithms that learn from data to this deep learning thing that's like modeled after the human brain.
Mhm.
I mean, it's crazy how far it's come.
It is incredible how fast this field is moving.
So for our listeners,
Mhm.
a lot of them, again, work with data every day.
Right.
what does all of this mean for them?
Well, I think it means that understanding AI and machine learning,
Mm-hmm.
it's becoming really important for anyone who works with data
Right.
because these technologies, they're able to unlock these incredible insights from data
Yeah.
that are really transforming every industry.
So what would you say to someone listening right now who's maybe a little bit intimidated by all of this or doesn't really know where to start?
I would say start small.
Okay.
You know, think about the AI-powered tools and services that you use every day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's your email spam filter
Right.
or your music streaming app.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a few minutes and try to learn a little bit about how those things work.
Okay.
I think you'll be surprised by how
Yeah.
much AI is already a part of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the article that we're looking at for this deep dive actually challenged us to do that.
It did.
To like think about two examples from our own lives.
Yeah.
So I challenge everyone listening
Great challenge.
to do that.
Yeah.
Think about two AI things that you use every day
Mm.
and then just spend a few minutes, Googling it
Yeah.
and reading about it.
It's fascinating stuff.
It is.
Yeah. And as you're doing that, keep in mind the bigger picture too.
Hmm.
These systems, they're becoming more and more powerful.
Yeah.
They're making more and more decisions for us.
Right.
So it's important to think about, how they work,
Yeah.
what the potential consequences are, both
Yeah.
good and bad.
Yeah. Both good and bad for sure.
Absolutely. So just something to keep in mind as we move into this
Yeah.
more AI-driven world.
Yeah, it's definitely something that everyone needs to be thinking about. And
Sure.
I think that's a great place to
Yeah,
wrap it up.
I agree.
So thanks everyone for listening to another deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
It was great having you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
All right.
Later.
Take care.